Start again. Good morning. I'd like to call this Board of Education special meeting of the Finance Committee to order. Today is February 26th, 2026.
So this is the financial report through January. We are forecasting a positive balance of $266,750. This is a decrease from the December report of $220,026. Just going over the changes from the prior month. The board approved early retirement incentive is drawing down $250,000. That'll be a transfer we'll discuss a little bit later. Electricity is trending higher by $132,120. This is at the 3 HHR schools. The new energy efficient units do require 20% cold air to come inside. And so when the cold air is as cold as it's been in this winter, it takes a lot of energy to heat that air up. And so we're seeing large spikes of electricity costs at those 3 schools primarily. Heat is forecasted at a deficit of 24,000. And again, that is due to the unusually cold winter that we've had. There is $5,000 deficit in consultant services. This is for a mid-year Board of Ed retreat facilitator. We have a small change in step and level changes for some clubs and councils. Salary savings is a positive $6,600. That's primarily due to the HVAC position. We have actually filled that second HVAC position. They started on the 17th, so just recently. So we have now filled both HVAC positions. Regular transportation is a positive balance of $14,364. We did receive a credit from First Student for the delay in the implementation of the propane buses. Those 5 propane buses are implemented this year, but the delay did give us a small credit. Long-term disability credit of $14,704 from the carrier. Added district tuition is a positive $76,000. A couple settlements came in less than anticipated. And then insurance, we had some census changes, and so that is a positive balance of $80,000. Overall, the general education RCs are forecasted at a deficit $346,365. That's primarily, again, that early retirement incentive and electricity. And then special education RCs are forecasted at a positive $613,116. That is primarily due to excess costs and some of the savings in tuition that we've discussed today and in previous meetings. Again, just moving forward to some of the RCs where those changes are. RC 12 maintenance, the salary line does show that positive balance of $20,884, and those are the 2 HVAC positions which are now filled. That is a change from when the report was complete because we just filled it last week. RC 16 consultant services is that deficit of $5,000 for school leadership to provide a mid-year Board of Ed retreat facilitator. Moving to RC 24. Tuition non-public is forecasted at a positive $256,565. Again, as we talked previously, we did have those 5 students who returned to district, and then we had 3 unilateral placement changes that came in below forecast. Excess cost right now is set at 67.93%. That's a reimbursement of almost $2.4 million. We did actually receive the first installment of excess cost yesterday for $1.7 million, so that came into the district's accounts yesterday. And so the threshold is slightly lower than we had set, but the reimbursement rate is slightly higher. And so those all play into the fact that we got a little bit more money than anticipated. Regular transportation, as I mentioned, that $14,000 is due to the delay in the propane buses. Benefits shows a deficit of $335,623. That's the early retirement incentive. And then we have some net savings against that due to census changes and a credit from that long-term disability provider. And as I mentioned earlier, heat due to the colder than normal winter, a deficit of $24,000, and then electricity of $132,119 due to the higher energy cost at the 3 HHR schools.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I have just a couple. So this early retirement $250, that's in addition to the $200 we've already approved.
Correct. Yep. So this is the balance of the transfer because we got a few more people than we thought.
Okay. And then out of district tuition, this is also an additional.
In addition. Yep.
And that's all 3 unilateral.
So we had forecasted placements on what we thought the settlement would be, and a few of those came in less than anticipated.
And then I just want to, you were just talking about ECR. I also noticed that the threshold changed. but we're still getting the same reimbursement amount that you predicted last time.
So, for the budget for current year,
Sorry.
for the budget for the current year, we assumed a 65% reimbursement rate.
Okay,
It came in at 67.93, so roughly 68. So that's a betterment to the district, which is why we have that forecasted surplus. The threshold ended up being a little bit different, and so that's a little bit of a loss of money. And so the two combined is what makes that change.
okay. Thank you. And then one last question. I just noticed in, sorry, the, the reconciliations page, and maybe I should already know this. So whenever I see a long-term sub, you're transferring over to RC 18. Is there a reason that we pay for that out of RC 18 and not just from the school that the long-term sub is in?
So we have, within RC 18, we have work codes which break out each school, so we know where each long-term sub is, but all of the long-term subs are in RC 18 personnel. And so what ends up happening is typically if a teacher goes out on leave, if it's medical or pregnancy, something like that, we end up having salary savings at whatever school that they're at, and then we move that money into the long-term subs.
Thank you. You want to do transfers?
So we have 4 transfers for the board's consideration and approval. The first is for benefits, and we are recommending taking the money from out-of-district tuition savings, turnover savings, that long-term disability credit that I mentioned, census changes, the propane credit, and then some savings from the new salary schedules that we had for the secretaries, the custodians, and the paraprofessionals. That's for $450,000. Consultant services for $5,000. We're recommending taking from savings from building subs. And again, that is for the Board of Ed facilitator for the mid-year retreat. Electric, we are recommending a transfer for $132,119. We are recommending taking the savings from the new salary schedule savings for the paraprofessionals, as well as salary savings for those 2 HVAC positions, and building subs. And heat for $24,000. And we are recommending taking the savings from student accident insurance premium that was less than expected, some credits for workers' compensation. Savings for payroll taxes associated to the salary savings, and then some of the salary schedule savings for the secretaries, paraprofessionals, as well as the balance of benefits for census changes.
Any questions? Any questions, Bill? Robin? Okay. I don't see any issues with these transfers. Usually we have to take a census if we were going to pass them on. Greg, do you have anything you want to add?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. I think that's it. Yep. Okay, I'd like to, public comment.
We don't have any members in the audience.
Okay, I'd like to, can I have a motion to adjourn? Bill? Craig?